What is up? What is up? In this episode, we are going to have a conversation about what it looks like, feels like, the experience of being whole. A lot of times when we're doing inner work, we are doing self hypnosis, we are reprogramming ourselves from the inside out, we're exploring the depths of ourselves and our personalities. We often see we live in this place of fragmented reality, if you will. We've got parts of us that are fighting each other. We've got a side of ourselves. You hear people refer to that, a side of myself or a part of myself wants to do this, but another part of myself wants to do this. And so there's this constant tug of war, this battle in and out, the battle of the parts. And so when you can start to see these parts as what they are, either the highest version of yourself, there's a part of you that is deeply connected with that, but also there's a part of you that is connected to your ego, your lower self, and fear. So we're going to dive into that in that conversation today. So stay tuned. I'm Adam Kadu, and it's time to master the art of real heart alignment, where you live, work, and play from your personal power as energy aligns, your gifts flow, and life simply works. These life-changing conversations are designed to help you to see what you're not seeing, hear what you're not hearing, and to be who you're not being, as the world needs more heart-centered leaders now more than ever. Are you ready to say no to living a half-hearted life and say yes instead to boldly living from a place of real heart alignment? Welcome to the Adam Kadu podcast. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the Real Heart Alignment podcast. Yes, we are leaning into that new name, Real Heart Alignment, because for the longest time, that's what my intention was to embody. That's who I was choosing to be. And that's the path that I was walking. And in times, you're on a path, and then you fall off a path, and you skin your knees, and you forget where you are. Sometimes you just have to choose to get back on that path. And so for right now, I'm embodying this intentional self, this aligned self, this version of myself that is more complete, more well-rounded, less fragmented, more whole. And so when you look at yourself, your personality, your higher self, your energy, your essence, and also your shadows, the lower self, the egos, you start to see there's a lot of components. We got the inner child, right? We've got different identities that we adopt and embody in different environments and different circumstances. When you can start to see yourself as the wholest of the whole version of you, you gain a lot of strength, you gain a lot of clarity, you gain a lot of power. So in this conversation today, we're going to dive into that. But here's the thing. So many times, depending on where we are in our life, what our bank account looks like, how much sleep we got, how effective we have been in eating and exercising, we feel differently. We're having a different experience of life. And it usually is in these moments, if you think back when you are in alignment, and not necessarily from the standpoint of like my purpose and my path and my passion, but in alignment with you, the deepest, most beautiful, most elegant, most expansive version of yourself. When you are in alignment and flowing from that version, the wholeness of you, life works. Life is more fun. You get more done. Life is more exciting. You're not so focused on the worries of the world. And when you can start to hold your awareness on a simple question, it will start to show you the path to alignment, to more flow. And that question is, am I whole right here and right now? Because it's funny, you'll have a conversation with somebody or you'll do something. For the longest time, I would put myself out there and do live videos and I would do webinar trainings. But afterwards, I was so scared of being judged. And, that lower part of myself, after just sharing my heart and being so excited and so passionate, the thinking would start to kick in. How did people perceive it? Did they like it? Am I safe? And so that lower part of me would kick in and it would steal the spotlight. And then all the attention was on me trying to be safe. And sometimes you'll just have a conversation with somebody, a significant other, and all of a sudden you feel anxious, right? You're likely giving your power away to how they perceived you or the thoughts of them or the worries about how you showed up in that conversation. I mean, it's wild to me how many times that I will literally have like a conversation to somebody. I'm like, see somebody, hey, how you doing? What's up? Blah, 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 blah. And I'll say something. And then afterwards for like 15 minutes or so, or like 15 minutes after, it'll like kick in. I'm like, oh, I said this. What, how did that sound? And all this stuff. It's like, easy peasy, calm down. We're all right. We're safe. There's no tigers lurking around here. It's all good. So that lower version wants to control, wants to make sure that it's in charge, wants to make sure that little old Adam is safe and protected and not going to be harmed, and that I don't have to look over my shoulder to make sure I'm safe. And so when it comes to wholeness, and this is a concept that a mentor of mine, Don Javier, spoke about. It was really the first time that I really heard in depth about wholeness and how important and how integral it is to leading a path with heart, that I started to get it, because the worries about finances, the worries about politics, the worries about worldly stuff, the worries about people on our team and not trusting the people in our environments, that leads to so much leaking power and fragmentation. And right now, more than ever, I'm leaning into letting go of so much in my business and trusting my team. And it's challenging, because I want to make sure that the things that we're putting out online, look good and people see me in a good light, because there's ego there, right? So my job is to course correct and stay, excuse me, sorry about that, right here and right now. How do I look about my alarm just going off right now? Oh man, hope you guys still like me and listen. Goodness. No, but the last couple years, challenging. I'm going through some things right now that are the most challenging. It's the most challenging time in my life. No doubt about it. I right before I record this podcast, I had a moment. I got a text message, and tears came to my eyes. And I'm highly emotional, highly sensitive. I've always been sensitive, but there's moments where I find myself completely checking out because I don't want to feel. But I have the awareness to know that when you feel and when you experience it all, without so much of the labels and the judgments and the trying to keep the negative feelings at bay and the trying to keep the thoughts at bay and trying and forcing, that leaks so much power. It wastes a lot of time to where you're not focused on helping others and growing. And so I've had more tears shed in the last month than I have probably the last 8 years. Easy. Last 10 years. Probably more. And I'm allowing myself to process it all, because I am a firm believer in real heart alignment. And there was so many times, and for so long, I would put a freaking mask up. Everything's good. Everything's peachy. Everything's fine. I'm perfect. The world's perfect. Got the rose colored glasses on, and I wanted everybody else to put their rose colored glasses on. That I did not allow people to see me. And also early on in my business too, I was needing to make it look like I had it all figured out. I got all the answers. You asked me, I got the answer. You asked me a question, you're going to get an answer. There's never a time back then that I said I didn't know or was up for a conversation. Just, oh yeah, this is how you do it. Right? So much ego, so much insecurity, so much doubt, so little wholeness. Little by little, I started cleaning up on that a little bit. I really worked hard to make sure that I was no longer allowing my need to be liked to run the show. And even in doing podcasts and such, sometimes I don't have a huge audience. I don't have tons of numbers, and I'm posting on IG right now, which I've been very inconsistent on my social medias. Like I said, lots going on here. Might divulge on that a little bit later. But it's like you see that and the ego's like, oh, what? What's going on? Why not? Why not me? What's this? I'm not whole in those moments. And being whole is a moment to moment basis. There's no point in time. I mean, there can be. I'm not going to plant a belief for you because you can get there. I'm not going to say you can't. But for most uh, beings here, we're not going to have this moment where we just lock into wholeness and that's it. We never have the doubts. We never have the insecurities. But this is a place to work from. This is a way of being to strive for, to commit to stay in integrity with. And it's more easy to start to work from these places of these concepts where you would like to see yourself and experiencing yourself than it is just going about your day, just hoping things fall into place. And I'm starting to see that as well. I mean, I'm starting to take my health more serious than I ever have before. You know, I've created more space in my life in order to do so because it was something that for me, stories, circumstances, I wasn't able to do because I was just giving it all to everybody else. I was putting myself last, and that comes down to self-worth, self-esteem, right? And stories. Like, well, if I'm a good person, if I'm a good at this, if I'm good here, then this is how I show up. That's not whole. That's giving it away. Yes, I'm going to help people. Yes, I'm going to be of service. Yes, I'm going to do what in my heart I feel that I need to do. But if I'm doing it solely for other people and not for all of us as a whole, then I'm missing the bus. I'm giving it away. And if I'm wrapped up in needing to be seen a certain way,